All right, we are on. We are live. Give just a second for a few people to get on here. So today, what I want to talk to you guys about, I hope you love the title, but we're going to talk about GI issues and your poop and things that are going on with that, right? So it's amazing to me how many people have GI issues, right? I mean, do you have heartburn, indigestion, bloating? Do you have gas? How often do you poop, right? I mean, you should be pooping probably at least a couple times a day. If that sounds crazy to you, you have GI issues, right? And so that's what I want to talk about, because I want to give you guys kind of a different perspective on how to look at your GI health and different ways to go about finding answers and solutions to that. And so, if you know anybody that's been struggling with some GI issues, hey, feel free to message us. Feel free to shoot us an email or text us on all of this. I'll be glad to answer any questions specifically that you may have. But let's kind of break this down a little bit. Let's talk about, so say you're having GI issues, right? What are you going to do about it? Well, you're going to go to your medical doctor most likely first. People usually don't come to me first for that, but you're going to your medical doctor. What kind of tests are they going to run? Well, most likely they're probably going to do maybe a colonoscopy. Not that there's anything wrong with that, not the most pleasant test in the world. What's that going to tell them, right? Most of the time they're looking for polyps, which is kind of a precancerous thing. If they see some polyps, they'll probably remove them while they're there. Obviously, while they're doing their little scope, they can see if there's inflammation. So a couple questions with that, right? So say they do the test and they find there's polyps or precancerous things and they remove that. What caused the polyps? Why was it precancerous? Why are things not working in your gut like they're supposed to? Do they ever ask that question or try to find the answer to that question? Not really, right? So say there's inflammation in your gut. Well, then what's their solution for that? Well, if there's inflammation, then they're going to treat you with anti-inflammatories, right? Probably give you steroids, something of that nature. So those will work till they don't. But again, another question, why is there inflammation? What's causing the inflammation? Do they ever do anything to get to that? Or maybe there's an infection, right? And they don't do a whole lot of testing that I'm aware of. I could be totally wrong on that, but they don't very often do different stool tests and things of that nature. But they may, and if they do, great. But say that they find that there's an infection in your gut. What's the typical response that they're going to do? What kind of treatment are they going to do for you? Yeah, they're going to give you antibiotics. But look at this. I want to bring this up for you guys. I just Googled this, right? So just your gut microbiome. That's all the bacteria in your gut. It says our gut microbiota contains tens of trillions of microorganisms, including at least 1,000 different species of known bacteria and more than 3 million genes, 150 times more than human genes. So you've got tens of trillions of bacteria in your gut. And so we're going to throw an antibiotic at that. Does that make sense? Does that sound, that's like throwing in a grenade into a group of 10,000 people, right? Yeah, you're going to knock some out, but it seems to me that if you've got an infection in your gut, there's already something that's not functioning well. And if you've got tens of trillions of bacteria, you're not going to wipe them all out. If you did, it would mess things up, right? But in reality, just throwing in an antibiotic, you're going to wipe out some, but that just creates more imbalance, wouldn't it? Doesn't that seem reasonable to you, or to me it does? And so a lot of times, again, they don't ask why is there an infection? Why are things not functioning properly? So what's a different perspective? What's a different approach that we can take? So some of the things that we do is we try to get to the cause of the problem, right? Makes sense. And so, first of all, finding out what your triggers are, right? So one of the most simplest tests that we can do is a food allergy test. If you do a food allergy test, we can see what foods are causing inflammation in your gut. That's a great place to start. But another amazing test that we do is called a Genova stool test, right? And so let me just show you how amazing these tests are and the different things that we do with this, right? So just from this one test alone, it tells me if there's infection in your gut. It tells me if there's inflammations in your gut. It tells me how well you're breaking down your foods, and it tells me if there's any imbalance in your gut. I'm going to go through it, right? So we have How well are you breaking down proteins? How well are you breaking down fats? Do you have the enzymes that your body needs to help break down all the different components as well and efficiently as they should? There's markers that will show us if there's inflammation in your gut. We've got markers that will show us what kind of immune reaction you're having in your gut. Is it too high? Is it too low? We can figure these things out. We've got things that tell us as far as metabolic stuff. I mean, obviously we have to feed the good bacteria. Do you have enough things going on in your gut to feed the good bacteria? We can find all of that stuff out. We can find out kind of if there's an enzyme in your gut that's kind of linked to colon cancer. Talk about why do you have the polyps, right? There's an enzyme we can measure and see what's going on with that, and to know if you're potentially setting yourself up for trouble with that. Then we look at all of those tens of trillions of bacteria. A lot of them are good. They're supposed to be there. We can actually look at the balance. How's everything functioning together? We can basically just see what's alive and what's going on. We can tell basically your ability to lose weight or not sometimes from what's going on. If there's inflammation in your gut, it's hard to lose weight. Next page tells us again if there is infection in your gut, right? If you have bad bacteria that's out of balance and creating issues, we can see that. And not only that, this will actually even tell us, they'll test the different agents against it to see what is the best to naturally help to keep that in control. And then if there's parasites, right? That's gross. Nobody wants to talk about parasites in your poop, but it happens, right? And so if we have that, we can find that out and we can get to the cause of what these problems are. And so, some of the things, again, how do we treat it? Well, again, it's finding the triggers, right? It may be changing your diet. It may be doing some things to calm down the inflammation, whether it's systemic inflammation or chronic inflammation that you've had. There's different supplements that we can do to help support your body as we find those triggers. And then one of the comments that I always get is, well, that's really cool and it's amazing that you can help all these things, but that's not chiropractic. And yes, it is. And you say, no, that's not chiropractic. I've been to a chiropractor. They adjust your spine. This isn't chiropractic. Well, it's chiropractic in this sense, right? Chiropractic is always about getting to the cause of the problem. We ask why, right? And so there's three things that can cause your health to break down that we look at, right? We call it the 3 T's. It's traumas, it's toxins, and it's thoughts. So traumas relates to your spine, right? Say you've been in a car accident. Say you sit at a computer all day and your posture stinks, right? If you've got poor posture, it creates stress in those joints. That creates inflammation. That inflammation sends stress signals to the brain. The brain responds by releasing stress hormones, blah, 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 blah. Then your health's a mess, right? And so the stress from your spine can affect how your GI system functions, right? If you've got issues in your back, it can affect your ability of your stomach and your digestive system to work properly. Hey, Jim, good to see you on here, buddy. So that's one of the things that chiropractic, most people think of chiropractic as, and we get great results with that. But there are the toxins, right? So toxins can be the foods that you eat, chemicals in the environment around you, the things that you breathe, the cleaning solutions, all that kind of stuff. We have to look at that as well. And then the final one is our thoughts, right? You're stinking thinking. So if you're under a lot of emotional stress, right, that affects how your body functions as well. Those 3 things, traumas, toxins, and thoughts, are what cause inflammation and cause our health to break down. And so if we can find those triggers and we can reduce or eliminate those, then you being healthy is a natural result to that. It's a much better approach because, again, if you just throw an antibiotic at it and everything's out of balance, so we throw it more out of balance, maybe we knock the infection down, but what caused it in the first place? Because if you don't correct that, isn't it just going to come back? And isn't that what we typically see over and over and over again? And so the thing is most medicine is about managing disease, right? If you want to manage your condition, then keep going that route. If you're happy with it, if you love your medical doctor and the care that you're getting, awesome. Keep doing it. But if you don't want to just manage your disease and you'd rather focus on building health and get to the cause of the problem, we may be the solution for you. So, hey, I appreciate you guys listening. If you want to learn more, we do workshops in the office. We call them our approach to inflammation in the office. We do those first and third Tuesdays each month in the office, 6 o'clock. And I know a lot of people can't make it to the office or you're not in Knoxville, and that's awesome. That's great too. We actually have a webinar that we're going to do Thursday night, January 30th. So if you're interested in the webinar, you don't have to be here. You can watch it. You can watch it at home in your pajamas if you want. We're going to do Thursday night at 6:30. I'll put the link in the comments. But hey, we're not selling anything. I'm not trying to sell you guys a bunch of supplements or anything of that nature. But it's amazing information, and so you guys at least need to hear it. Check it out. It absolutely could be life changing. And again, hey Shane. Man, it's good to hear from you. See you on here, buddy, and Michaela, you too as well. So I appreciate you guys joining. But great information. Like I said, I hope you guys will join us on the workshop. If you got questions, please message us, and we're here for you guys. So we'll talk to you soon.